Hello everyone and welcome back to Breaklight Productions. My name is Curtis Lambert and today we've got a very weird music video. It's called Alot and it's by Moist Critical, Nik Nocturnal and Knosis. So some YouTubers involved with this one. So yeah, very interested to see what they've whipped up. It's most definitely going to be metal with Nik Nocturnal involved. But yeah, let's jump into it. That's a very pretty shot. Bit of macro. Okay, some effects. There's Critical and Nik. Okay, lots of effects, lots of energy. Bit of the fisheye lens, which is nice. Okay. I don't hate the filming, but okay, I'm not sure about that rapping, in all honesty. I mean, obviously if you love it, like, good on you, but it's not what I like. You know, each to their own. That's pretty nice. Lots of effects going on, you know. Someone went on Artlist. I should have talked shit in that way. Throw as many effects as you want, but yeah. It's lot going on, while also not much. You're throwing in some VHS like glitch transitions. The lighting of this set itself is very good. Oh. Okay. Bit of story. Growls. See, I'd almost... First off, I appreciate the silly faces, as I said in the Disfiguring the Goddess video. Like, the lighting is good. It's just, it's very... I don't know. Like, I'm not a massive fan of the music, but even the video itself, it's like that. What we just saw there with the close-ups, this bit, awesome. This red, fucking cool. Give me that. I want that as a music video. Like the rest of it, man, you know. Okay, let's break it down. Now, obviously, I'm not shit talking anyone who you know, created this, or whether it be the band or the, you know, actual film people behind it, but this is a good example, in my opinion, of where you sort of, you film something and then, and I've had this happen with shoots of mine, you film it and then what you had in your head, which was this high energy, like, whoa, you know, there's going to be a cut here and there, blah blah blah, what you thought was going to work didn't, and then you're like, oh fuck, how do we make this more exciting, how do we make this, you know, catch people's attention? And so you just go to Artlist, you just go to Envato, you download a bunch of, you know, transitions and effects and stuff, and you just chuck that shit on. I've had it happen, like I said, with a video or two of mine, which, and this will be future content. I'm going to look at those videos as well as all my other music videos and really break down what went wrong, what went right with each one. And, why those bad things happened, how, to not do it, how to do it, blah, blah, blah. This is something, where it feels like, the set and the lighting I don't hate. I think having all the background screens, especially when it is that opening shot of just Critical by himself on the chair with that symbol behind him, like, I think that's very moody and cool. But I found the little text bubbles of stuff coming up unnecessary, because it wasn't saying anything. It wasn't something that, at least to me, had a punch to it. The way I think of it, like, obviously you may choose to subtitle the whole video, but to me, when it comes to selecting specific bits, you have to choose stuff that, imagine if this was a comic book, what parts of the dialogue would you have in bold? That's the simplest way of putting it. Like, what would you really want to put an emphasis on? And the fact that, like, I've stopped it on a frame here where, it's Critical in the light. I don't necessarily hate that. There is quite a bit of artifacting. So, where we've spoken about in previous videos, I think this could have, unless they've done that on purpose, I do think it could have benefited from a bit of extra grain or artifacting over the top of it to really hide these pixels that have, meshed together and are now forming those, those artifacts. But anyway, going back to the subtitling, what I've got here is it's popped up with the text bubble just saying much worse. That's not very powerful. That's not very, like, boom in your face, like, this is, some grand revelation. And then we cut back to this beautiful shot of, the eye, that, like, the depth of field, the coloration and everything, like, I love. But then, and thankfully they left it untouched in other shots, but they've thrown this silly, downloadable target over it. And I'm like, but why? You got a beautiful light right there shining on this eye. It looks gorgeous. Why are you chucking on, a silly graph? And now, obviously, I will say that it is clear that they're doing some sort of, like, he notices the surveillance camera, and then, goes, tears it down, goes running down the hall, etc. But to me, that's just a, like, that almost feels forced. And it feels forced in the sense where that's during a quiet bit of the song, and it just sort of feels like they're like, okay, well, the band would just be standing around during this bit, so what do we do? And it's like, oh, well, what if we set up a piece of story? Because besides the graphs, up until that point, there is no indication of that story. Something as simple as having him, here's a sort of a little fix. If you had to go with this idea that I would have done, I would have had it open with critical, like it's an empty studio, and critical comes in, sits down, you see a zoom in on his eye, and the target then pops up, and then the song starts. Because then that gives you the feeling of like, oh, he's being watched, he's in this room for whatever reason, being watched, being monitored, and all of this, rather than it's sort of just getting introduced in the final act of the song, and then him going back, like joining the band, but it's like, but we've seen you for the past 2 minutes with the band, so it's not like you've been journeying. Like, yeah, it just is, yeah, interesting that they chose to do it that way. Looking at this wide shot though from the CCTV camera, yeah, you know, they've got negs, they've got a neg fill on one side, light behind him, obviously the big screen as well, slider going up to him. I sort of feel, and again, I know that there's most likely a explanation behind all of this, but I sort of feel like it doesn't make sense. So he's on a film set, but he's also being monitored. And so why is he on a film set when he's not okay being watched? And like, I don't know. It's probably me just being a dumbass, and someone will be like, bro, it's clearly about, you know, blah, 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 blah. But it just, yeah, like it feels sort of weird. And again, like, I want to make it clear, I'm not just shitting on Dins for the sake of it. But yeah, it's just, I personally didn't vibe with this video, and would have done a few things different. Like, even looking at this studio shot, something as small as, like, if you're trying to make it that he's in this sterile environment that's being watched and he doesn't want to be there, why is there a water bottle on the floor? Like, you gotta keep an eye out for that stuff when you're doing it, because that tells me, oh, like, you know, it's just like, you know, a small little music video crew, not some like nefarious organization. Yeah, it's just things like that, little aspects of detail. But, you know, all in all, like, you look at this CCTV camera shot, like, looking at the camera, really like the lighting and the colors. Like, the colors really pop in this, which I think are great. You know, more colored film music video shoots, I should say. Super cool. That hallway shot, really fucking cool. Why do we only see it like once? It's so, like, the walls are so weird looking. Like, I want that. I want to see that, you know, but we get it for one shot. So yeah, it's one of those things where I don't hate it, but I think there's a lot of things with this when it comes to the story and just sort of the general direction that I would have personally done different. But, you know, that's not crapping on anyone's work. It takes a lot of work making a music video, and you know, like a lot of the effects and stuff, like if they were originally designed, like, hey, good on yo, I suck at that shit. And then yeah, like that it's a fisheye with vignette in, but it could be an 8mm, because I only say that because I have an 8mm lens, and yeah, like I love fisheye shots. And yeah, it's that thing of, I sort of wish they just gave it more breathing room and told the story that they clearly have, but I would have liked it a bit clearer. I think that's the best way of putting it. But all in all, good work. So yeah, thank you for watching. Be sure to check out more in the future. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff. And if there's anything you want me to watch in particular, let me know and I'll be sure to get to it at some point. Oh, I got such a backlog at the moment. It's insane. But yeah, thanks again and see you in the next one. Bye.